And now let me introduce our next speaker, who is Dr. Alexandros Tilikidis from Greece. As a Western medical doctor, he is specialized in physical medicine and in rehabilitation. He has devoted his career to bridging Western medicine with traditional Chinese medicine. He studied acupuncture and Chinese herbal medicine both in Greece and at Tianjin University of Traditional Chinese Medicine in China. Since 1997, he has practiced and taught in Athens. In 2004, he founded the Academia of Ancient Greek and Traditional Chinese Medicine, dedicated to uniting these two healing traditions. Dr. Tilikidis has published also several influential books. His presentation has been pre-recorded as well today, so here we go.
Dear friends and colleagues from the World Health Congress 2025 in Prague, I would like to say my greetings from Greece. My name is Alexandros Tilikidis, and I will present you the book, some very small parts from the book of Plato, Timaeus. First of all, I would like to thank Dr. Thomas Pfeiffer for his invitation to participate in the Congress, and all the members of the organizing committee, and to congratulate all of you about your work on the topic of health without borders. So we have the book of Plato, Timaeus or Timeo. In this book, this book is very important for the history of philosophy and medicine. In this book, we have a very important description of the creation of the universe and how this is related to human nature. So it is very important for understanding human nature. Timaeus is a book which has influenced human thought, philosophy, and medicine for more than 25 centuries. It was written by Plato after the beginning of the 4th century before Christ. In the famous painting by Raphael around 1510 after Deus, from Academia of Plato, we see Plato the older and Aristotle when he was young, and Plato in this painting in his left hand is holding the book Timaeus. In this dialogue of Plato, because it is a book that it is formed in the form of dialogue, in this book of Plato, we have two participants. The first is Socrates. The speech of Socrates is very short and is related to the ideal city. Then we have Critias, and the speech of Critias is longer than Socrates' speech and is related to the very famous Atlantis. What we know about Atlantis is coming from this dialogue of Critias. And at the end, we have the speech of Timaeus, who is a student of Pythagoras and is coming from the South Italy, Magna Graecia, is the longest in the book and is related to the creation of the universe and human beings. So we can say that all this knowledge is coming from the Pythagorean medical and philosophical school, that it was based in South Italy, in the colony of Greece, which the name was Croton. In the paragraph 73, between B and D sections, we have the following description. Bone, flesh, and other tissues were constituted as follows. Their starting point was the formation of marrow. For the bonds of life by which the soul is tied together with the body, being the roots of the mortal creature, are made fast in the marrow, which has itself been formed of other materials. As a kind of universal seed for mortal creatures of every kind, in it he firmly implanted the different kinds of soul. So the God implanted the different kinds of soul that exist in the human body, the different parts is the right word, the different parts of soul that it is implanted in the human body is implanted these parts of soul in the marrow tissue. So the first part of the human soul is related with the marrow tissue, dividing the marrow in its initial distribution into as many different varieties and the particular forms as it was destined to bear. And Plato continues, and he molded the marrow in a spherical shape, because the spherical shape of the human brain is related with the spherical shape of the universe, because the sun is like a round sphere, and also moon is the same, and also atmosphere is the same, and also water is the same, and also everything is formed in a form of circle in the human body. So we have the spherical shape of the brain and the spherical shape of the scalp that it is around the brain. So they made the marrow, the gods that they create the human being, they made the marrow in a spherical shape that was to contain the divine seed. What is the divine seed? The divine seed is the part of the soul that it is related with not longevity, it is related with the immortal being, because there is a part, according to Plato, in our soul that it comes from the gods and from the creation of the universe, and this immortal part of the soul is the divine part of the soul and is related and is implanted in the first substance of the body, which is marrow, and especially the marrow that it is located in the head. An immortal principle of soul and imitating him, and him is the God, encased it in a mortal physical globe with the body as a whole for vehicle, and they built on to it another mortal part containing terrible and necessary affections. This is the other part of the soul that it is related with the blood, and it has the following characteristics. First, pleasure, the chief incitement to wrong, then pain, which frightens us from good, furthermore daring and fear, two foolish counselors, and anger, hard to appease, and credulous hope. To this mixture they added irrational sense perception and desire, which shrinks from nothing, and so of necessity composed the mortal element. So our soul, it has at first one immortal element, one immortal part that it is related with God and immortality. And this part is located in the head, in the brain, and there is another mortal part that we will see that this mortal part of our soul, they secure it in the breast, they are the gods, and trunk, as we call it. And since the gods shrank from polluting the divine element with these mortal feelings, more than was absolutely necessary, they settled the mortal element in a separate dwelling in the body, far away from the head, and constructed the neck as a kind of isthmus and boundary between head and breast to keep them apart. The mortal element, they secure it in the breast and trunk. So we go to the second part of the soul, that is the part of the soul which is the seat of courage, anger, and ambition. They located near the head, between midriff and neck, so that it will be well placed to listen to the commands of reason, so close to the logic part of the soul, to listen to the commands of reason and combine with it in forcibly restraining the appetites when they refuse to obey the word of command from the citadel. And also they create the lungs. This was the structure of the lung, which they made soft and bloodless, the lung, full of cavities, like a sponge, so that it would, by absorbing breath and drink, act as a coolant and provide relief and ease to the heat of the heart. The third part of the soul, we have the third part of the soul. The first part of the soul is related with brain, is the logic part, is the divine part, is the immortal part of the soul. The second part of the soul is between midriff and neck and is related with blood and heart, and this is the part of the soul that they call it Timaeus, and is related with blood. The third part of the soul, the part of the soul that desires food and drink and other natural needs of the body, they located between the midriff and the region of the navel, building in all of this area a kind of cave, a manger for the nourishment of the body. And they secure the part of the soul there like a wild beast, which must be fed with the rest of us if mortals were to exist at all. So we have the three parts of the soul. The first is the logical part of the soul and is related to the brain. In this part of the body, brain, according to Plato, the god implanted the immortal part of the soul and logic, consciousness, logic, brain marrow. So the name of this part is logic, the logic part of the soul. And it has the before mentioned characteristics. The second part is the emotional part, love, fear, sorrow, anger, braveness. This part is implanted in the heart and related to blood, emotion, heart, blood, and the name is Timaeus. And the third part is the part that is related to desires. This part is implanted in the area between the diaphragm and umbilicus. This part is related to intestine, desires, intestine. And the name of this part is epithymikon. The correlation between the three parts of the soul and the three parts and the three substances that constitute the human body is the first part of the soul, the logic, is related to marrow that formed in the form of a spherical brain. The second part is related with emotions and is related with blood as a substance in the body, and the heart as the main organ of blood, brain as the main organ of marrow, and finally, the desires that are related to intestine. And when we say intestine, we mean not only the peptic tube, we mean also the lungs, and we mean also the skin, because skin, lungs, and peptic tube are absorbing the energy from the outside. And this is the main function of the third part of the soul and the third substance that constitute the human body. So these are the main ideas and the very important ideas that exist in this book of Plato. And here I finish my presentation. I would like to remind you that I am the writer of 2 books on ancient Greek medicine. Also, I would like to remind you that I give lectures in the schedule for the academic year 2025-26, and you can informed by our website. And I would like finally to close my speech with some words about alternative medicine in Greece. In Greece, we have no recognition of alternative medicine. In the country of Hippocrates, we have no recognition of traditional Hellenic medicine and ancient Greek medicine, and of course Hippocratic medicine. In Greece, there are 9 medical schools, and in no one of them we have the teaching of the Hippocratic ideas and the Hippocratic corpus. That's why I feel myself responsible to inform all of you about these very wonderful ideas about the human body that exist in the ancient Greek philosophy and medicine. Thank you very much, and have a nice Congress.
We are happy Dr. Tilikidis could be with us through his pre-recorded presentation.